Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you about two things. One being the discriminant, that's an A, and the discriminant is part of something called the quadratic formula, and the quadratic formula is another way to solve a quadratic equation. So today it's about the discriminant and the quadratic formula. First, let's start with the discriminant. The discriminant tells us about the solution to our quadratic equation. And the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. And you get the a, the b, and the c from the quadratic equation in standard form. So you got ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So if b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, then you have two real solutions or two real roots. If b squared minus 4ac equals 0, then you have one real root. And that should only be 1L for real. And remember, the roots or the solutions are where the parabola crosses the x-axis. And finally, if we have b squared minus 4ac, and that is less than 0, then what you have is you have no real solution, or you have two imaginary roots. Okay, so let's see how this works. Okay, let's take an example. Let's say we have the equation 3x squared minus 5x minus 2 equals 0. All right, well, a equals 3, b equals negative 5, and c equals negative 2. So our discriminant would be b squared, or negative 5 squared, minus 4 times a times c. So I have the square root of 25. I have 12. 4 times 3 is 12, times negative 2 is negative 24. So minus negative 24 gives me plus 24. I add these together and I get the square root of 49. And so my answer would be plus or minus 7. So I have two real roots. All right, let's try another one. Let's try 2x squared plus 6x plus 7. Okay, now you may notice in the first example I put everything under the square root sign. Well, I actually did not need to do that. I need to do b squared minus 4ac. So let's try it again the right way. So b squared would be 6 squared minus 4 times 2 times 7. So I have 36 minus 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 7 is 56. And so that gives me negative 20. So what this tells me is I have two imaginary roots. So you see how this works. Okay, moving on, we're going to talk about the quadratic formula. And like I said, this is another way to solve a quadratic equation. So here we have our quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And our quadratic formula to figure out what x is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Notice b squared minus 4ac, there's our discriminant, all over 2a. Now, here's something that nightmares are made of for you. One way you can remember this is to sing it to Pop Goes the Weasel. So here we go. Okay, hold on. I got to prepare my voice. Ready? X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So that was a scary, scary thing for you. I apologize, but that's life. Okay, let's try an example. We'll try an easy one. We'll do x squared minus 4x plus 3 equals 0. So to solve for x, I am just going to plug in, okay, negative b, that would be the negative of negative 4, which would be 4, plus or minus b squared, so negative 4 squared is 16, minus 4ac. A is 1, c is 3, so 4 times 1 times 3 is 12, all over 2a, which is 2 times 1, or just 2. So let's see here, I've got 4 plus or minus the square root of 4 over 2. Well, so that gives me 4 plus or minus 2 over 2. So if I do 4 plus 2 over 2, I get 6 over 2, or 3. And if I do 4 minus 2 over 2, I get 2 over 2, or 1. So my answers are 3 and 1. And this initial equation, we could have solved just by factoring. We could look at that and say, all right, well, what two factors of positive 3 add up to equal negative 4? That would be x minus 1, x minus 3, set that equal to 0. If I use the zero product property, I would get x equals either 1 or 3. So really, this is just another way to solve a quadratic equation. It can be used for easy quadratics, it can be used for hard quadratics. It doesn't matter. So here are two problems I would like you to try for homework. The first one, I want you to use a discriminant to find out how many roots there are and what kind of roots they are. And it's 4x squared plus 20x plus 25 equals 0. Number two, I'd like you to use a quadratic equation to find x. And I'll give you a hint that this is not an easy quadratic equation. And the quadratic formula is very helpful in this situation. Good luck, and I will see you in class.